They're up on a stage on high chairs.
Keep them away. So to keep them away.
Yeah. There's the panel up there. I don't see the police chief.
Okay, thanks. Good evening, and welcome to our Communities and Government Working Together Summit. I'm Stan Penkin, and I'm president of the Pearl District Neighborhood Association. We hope that you will come away. Not loud enough. We hope that you will. How's that? Okay. We hope that you will come away with a better understanding tonight of the challenges government faces, what it is trying to do, and how we as individuals and communities can work together to find solutions to addressing our present problems, not only in the Pearl, but in neighborhoods everywhere. Tonight is the beginning of a civil, respectful, and productive conversation which we plan to continue in future forums with deeper dives into specific problems. As a growing city, we are benefiting and at the same time being challenged by growth and the day-to-day problems that go along with it. Trash, graffiti, noise, homelessness, and a growing fear of increasing crime. People are critical that government doesn't do enough to address these issues, which leads to a deterioration of our quality of life. These are not just perceptions, but real concerns. Folks, the reality is that government cannot do everything. Resources are limited, and the issues are complex. To improve our quality of life, we need more than anger and complaining. We all need to better understand what government is doing, and that we all have a role to play in finding solutions. In the Pearl, we have come to understand that we cannot do everything. We understand the importance of working together. We have embarked on collaborative activities such as the trash program, the recycling of cigarette butts, our vibrant foot patrol that works with the Police Bureau and park rangers, and our emergency preparation activities that will help our communities survive a major disaster. Our neighborhood association and other groups across the city provide doorways into solving problems. It takes everyone's involvement to help make positive change. Please take a few moments to visit our informational tables in the lobby and learn more about PDNA's activities. We welcome your engagement by attending meetings, voicing your concerns, sharing ideas, and volunteering to help in any of our committees. And if you want to make a donation to our trash program, we certainly welcome that too. Tonight, you will hear from Mayor Wheeler, Commissioner Kafuri, and other government leaders about many issues that we all care about. We ask you to please be respectful and not call out for the audience. Please use the comment cards for your questions and pass them to our ushers. We will attempt to address as many of your questions and comments as time permits. I want to remind you to please fill out your registration cards, which you can hand over to the usher. And there will be a drawing of a $200 gift certificate to Medina, and a second drawing of a $100 gift certificate to Blue Owl. So please hand in those cards. Also, please make sure you pass those comment cards, as I said, to the ushers. Just before we get going with our guests, just a few quick thank yous to some people without whom this evening could not have happened. So to my board colleagues, PD&A board colleagues, our Livability Committee, our Foot Patrol volunteers here in their bright yellow vests, PCS for its support, and a special thank you to Deb Hollister, without whom we would not have the literature that we have, the graphics that we produced, and including that beautiful graphic that you'll see on the trash can out in the lobby if you haven't seen it already. So thank you, Deb, and thank you, everyone, and thank you all for being here. So without further ado, I'm going to call upon our Mayor, Ed Wheeler.
Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here. And Stan, I've got to congratulate you. This is fantastic. I'm very appreciative of everybody taking the time to be here tonight. And I think this is the kind of thing we should do more rather than less. This is a community coming together. It's community engagement. We have a lot that we can celebrate. And I think all of us are here because we know we have a lot of work that we need to do together. So I'm happy to be here tonight. I want to start just by acknowledging that we are a city that's transitioning from being a larger city with a small city feel to being a larger city that's on the global map. And it goes without saying that there's really good things about that. We end up on all of the top 10 lists. We're definitely on the radar nationally and globally. Lots of people are moving here. And that also creates some pressures for those of us who are here already. We're seeing that in terms of the cost of housing, competition for housing. We're seeing big city problems like an increase in homelessness, trash, litter graffiti, needles, and other general livability issues. So we're growing up, and our government needs to respond to that transition. And I think Stan did a great job of acknowledging that while we are working and while we are prioritizing issues like addressing homelessness, housing, and livability issues, there's no question that we are playing a game of catch-up. So I can't think of anything more timely or relevant than us coming together to have this mini summit. I think it's going to lead to some great things. One of the growing pains that my staff deals with on a regular basis and something that we've prioritized is something as simple as the question of litter and how it's managed on a daily basis. Our city is getting denser, more people are moving here. I'm sure that with 100 people a day moving to the city of Portland, think about that, 100 people on average every day moving to the city of Portland. We're in a denser community, and the kinds of issues like trash obviously are more noticeable, and we have to respond. We have to be nimble, we have to be relevant, and we have to be able to address the issues at the scale which we are finding that we have to approach them. When I made a pronouncement in September that that Portland, I have no announcement that Portland, our city, my city, your city, would be the cleanest city in America. I was surprised by, on one hand, the level of enthusiasm that that engendered, because people said, yeah, it's about time. We need to take control of the environment in which we live. We need to be able to control the things that are happening, even as our city grows, even as more people move here and our city becomes more densely populated, even as we deal with some of these social pressures around housing, around homeless, around livability. We have to manage the basics, like keeping our city clean. And for those of you who have been Portlanders for some time, you know in the 1970s, 1980s, and even into the 1990s, if somebody threw a coffee cup or an ice cream container on the ground, a van would have come out of nowhere, and there was a van, people in hazmat suits would have jumped out, and they would have picked it up, and that would have been the end of it. Well, you know, it's not working that way right now. And so I was excited and energized that when I made this announcement, it resounded with people, including the Pearl District Neighborhood Association. And it really, people came together in the spirit that Stan mentioned. People called the mayor's office on a regular basis. And we don't always get people calling to say, how can I help? How can I be part of this? What role can we play? What role can my organization, what role can my business play? And I was very excited about that. I particularly want to give all of you a shout out. The Pearl District Neighborhood Association stepped up big time, donating 95 cans, trash cans, receptacles, because it highlights one of the ways that the city and the community can work together and join together to help make sure that we are the cleanest city in America. I don't just say that as a bumper sticker type slogan. I mean that. I think that's what people expect of a city like Portland. It's what I expect of myself as the mayor of this community. And based on the conversations I've had with many of you, you expect our city to be one that looks like we care about the environment in which we live. So I'm personally very appreciative of this generous donation that you made to PDNA's dedication to making the Pearl District as a vibrant and inviting place, not just for the people who live in the Pearl District, but as an acknowledgement that it's an attractant for people from all over the community, and indeed, it's now on the radar nationally as a destination neighborhood, a neighborhood that really gets it, a neighborhood that's doing so many things right, and one that people want to see. The generous donation and support that you made to livability has not gone unnoticed in the mayor's office, and I want you to know that. Another one of our great initiatives involves a fantastic partner in SOLVE, and I'm sure all of you are keenly aware of SOLVE. They're most famous, of course, for their beach cleanups, but they've also been engaged in waterway and river cleanups. They've been engaged in neighborhood cleanups. And while they are focused on the cleanup, what SOLVE's higher mission is similar to what Stan framed as the reason we're here tonight. SOLVE's bigger mission is really to bring people together from all walks of life, all lived experiences, different geographic areas, for the purpose of sharing common purpose. And that's what community is really about. And so I'm happy to say that starting in January, we're kicking off a new program with SOLVE. It's called the Keep It Pretty Rose City program. Poets must love that, right? It's going to feature weekly cleanups all around the city of Portland. I'll be participating personally in that for whatever reason on my Facebook and Twitter pages. When people see me cleaning up trash, they say, Ted, you're really good at that. You should do more of that. You have found your calling. clean out the trash. And the fun thing is I actually enjoy it. And I know some of you in this room do too. I enjoy participating in that kind of activity, and I know many of you will join me. And I'm thrilled that we have solved now for the Keep It Pretty Rose City program. You're going to hear more about that in January. Your neighborhood figures prominently in this new program, so thank you for that. Solve has already been a great partner with the City of Portland, and I'm sure you're aware of it.